The big question is, do you have ADHD or did you just give it to yourself? And I know this is gonna piss some people off. Oh, 1 second. Oh, I'm just checking something. I ended up scrolling. I don't even know. It's, just needed a hit of dopamine real quick. But anyway, back to it. Where was I? Yeah, so today's video, it's about getting rid of bad habits. No, that doesn't sound right. Oh yeah, it's about ADHD. Realistically speaking, not many people actually have ADHD. In fact, I think in my entire life, I probably knew one person with actual genuine ADHD where they actually couldn't focus on something for more than, what is that over there? Oh, that's just my mouse flashing. Anyway, who couldn't focus for a prolonged period of time. Now, most of us have given it to ourselves. So before you go to any doctors, and this is not medical advice either, but before you go to any doctors and get diagnosed with ADHD and get prescribed some pills that you're going to be on for the rest of your life, and you're just going to walk around telling people, oh, I'm sorry, I have ADHD, so I can do whatever the fuck I want now. Oh, I don't have to listen to you, I have ADHD. As a matter of fact, I don't have to make this video right now. But jokes aside, giving ourselves ADHD is basically through consuming short-term content or short-term gratification, quick dopamine release. And you guys have heard all of this so many times, so I'm not going to sit here and go over all the bullshit habits that our generation has because of what's available for us. But instead, what I'm going to tell you guys is not only do you have to understand what you're doing to shorten your attention span, so everything that you get a quick kick from, but also what can you do to get rid of it? That's what we want. We don't want to have this. We want to be able to do things for a prolonged period of time. So the attention span, it's very, very flexible. That's what I've noticed. So I'll give you an example. If there's a week where I've slacked off, or maybe I've been on my phone too much, maybe I scrolled, maybe I was just having, let's say, too much fun in a short-term gratification way, I immediately notice that once I try to stop doing those things, I don't want to scroll anymore. So I'll, keep my phone away or something. Your brain just naturally craves that immediately. And that's fine, you can resist it. But does that just make you doomed now? Did you just waste a week? And how long is it going to take you to recover that? Can you recover that? Yes. And the funny thing is, I will literally pick up a book that I'm reading, and here it is right here, actually. So this is the current book I'm reading. I don't know if you can read the title, but it seems pretty fun. So after about reading one sentence, my brain starts to think of something else already. And the easiest way to observe this is when you immediately switch to do something that's long form. Reading a book, listening to a podcast, and doing nothing else. Watching a longer video, watching a video without all this shit flashing in your screen. You'll notice your brain wanders immediately. I will literally read a sentence, and before I know it, I'm already thinking about something that happened the other day. And then I have to bring myself back to it. The act of bringing yourself back on track every time you lose focus trains you to actually retain your focus for a longer time. And after a couple of days of reading here and there, now I'm not saying you have to read all day, I'm saying I would probably read like for half an hour. After maybe 3 days, it becomes so easy. I can read a book again without getting super distracted. And that's essentially how you restore your attention span. So if you ever feel like you've just shortened it or you literally can't focus on anything and your brain just craves the next hit of dopamine release, do something longer. Do something that requires attention, and if you can't maintain it, that's okay. Because it wouldn't be an exercise then. The exercise is getting your attention back on track every single time you lose focus. And you'll be surprised how fast your magical ADHD is cured. It goes away because you were never born with it, you don't have it in your genes, and you don't need to justify having some kind of disorder. Because there are actually real people out there who have this genetically, and it's extremely unfair to group yourself in with them when you're actually completely normal and your habits are just shit. And they actually can't do anything about it, and they are trying, and maybe they have to take some kind of pills for it. I don't know. But to sit here and tell the world that you have ADHD and it's been diagnosed by a doctor who couldn't give a fuck about you. The doctor is just going to be like, problem, short-term solution, pills. They don't care about you. Now, obviously, when you're going to try to do something that requires more attention, initially you're going to have resistance. It's going to be uncomfortable, and it's actually going to be a little bit annoying when you keep losing focus and your brain just feels so bored. But just fight through it. It's not that hard. And the funny thing I'll share with you guys is I know this person and they might watch this video too. So if what I'm about to say is too true and it's uncomfortable to hear, sorry, not sorry. I was having a conversation with them and I was speaking to basically two people at the same time. I was sharing a story that I thought was pretty funny. And at the start, both people were super engaged. They were like into it. They're like, oh, and what happened next, right? They were listening. It's a normal human conversation. And I shit you not, 1 minute in, I can see one of those people's eyes just start darting everywhere. They're just looking into the sky. They're looking around. They check their phone immediately and they go on there and they kind of come back and they look at me. But when they're looking at me, I know they're not actually listening. All the information is just going straight over their head. And as I was telling the story, while one person remained super engaged, I was conscious of it. I was like, why is one person losing interest so quickly? I get it, maybe it's not that interesting, but it's almost like they can't even control it, or they don't even realize it's happening, that they're losing focus. And I was trying to say a few things that would bring them back, that would catch their attention. I used to actually teach a lot of lessons in like a classroom setting, so I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at getting people's attention when it comes to speaking in person. And so I would try to bring them back, and I would always bring that person back for like 5 seconds, and before you know it, they're gone again. They're in the clouds. Aside from it being a little bit frustrating, how can a person just not pay attention for a second, at least pay respects to, hear them out? But I was more so concerned because I thought, how is this possible? And this pattern I observed for a longer time, over and over. And I would hear other people say the same thing. Hey, I'm talking to this person, but before you know it, they're not listening anymore. They're just looking at you. They're looking at you because they think that's what they're supposed to do. But when you look at someone and they're not paying attention, their eyes are blank. And what's happening is that their brain immediately disconnects from that interaction because it's not receiving the dopamine it usually gets. So the brain goes, well, this interaction isn't bringing me much dopamine, so this is useless. Let's look for something else. And it just disconnects the person. And it was becoming increasingly frustrating to speak to a person like that. And at some point they just started saying, maybe I have ADHD. And that just did it. Because a person who never had ADHD, who actually managed to get through school or do well and actually build themselves up, build themselves a career. So this is a person who's doing well for themselves. To just now start thinking they have ADHD, this magical disorder or disease just got them, and thinking, yeah, maybe I should go to a doctor and get it diagnosed because, they're going to give me some pills for that, so it's going to help. And I'm just sitting there thinking, look at your habits. I mean, I see what you do. You're on your phone constantly, watching something fun, and only engaging in extremely quick, short-term gratification activities. Of course you don't have an attention span. And I said, okay, well, you can try reading a book because you're going to restore it before you go to any doctor and get it diagnosed. And of course, the first thing they hit you with is, oh, no, I don't like books. It just doesn't do it for me. Oh, I know you don't like books because after one sentence, your mind wanders. And unfortunately, This is happening to so many of us. And again, I'm not hating on that person. I'm just saying this is an unfortunate circumstance that if you're not conscious of it, society or the way everything is set up does this to you. All our internet and social media, it does this to you, and you have to be aware of it. And the last thing you want is to become one of those people who says, yes, I have mental illness, all of the above, starting with ADHD. And I take these pills, and because I'm a victim, you can't say anything to me. Because I'm a victim of these diseases that also I gave to myself. Oh, my bad. I was supposed to end the video. If this hits home and you know what I'm talking about, and you know people who are like that in your lives as well, share this video with them, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.